I got an entire table for myself after my husband and his mom didn't save me a seat. My husband's family was having this big reunion dinner at some fancy restaurant downtown. Like 50 people were supposed to be there and they'd been planning it for months. I was actually excited because I'd only met most of these people once at our wedding, and I wanted to make a good impression. The plan was for me to meet everyone there because I had to work late that day. My husband Jake texted me saying they'd gotten a big table and saved me a spot right next to him. I rushed over after my shift, still in my work clothes, but whatever. Family's family. I walked into this restaurant and immediately spotted their huge table in the back. There had to be like 20 people crammed around it laughing and talking loud. I could see Jake at one end with his mom Patricia right next to him. She was always super protective of him. Like weirdly so, but I figured that's just how some moms are. I walked over with a big smile, ready to squeeze in wherever they'd saved my spot. But when I got there, Jake looked up at me with this confused expression. "Oh, hey babe, you made it." I looked around the table. Every single chair was taken, like completely full. People had their purses and jackets on the backs of chairs. Drinks were set up. Everyone was settled in their spots. "Where am I sitting?" I asked, still standing there awkwardly. Jake's face went red. "Oh crap, I thought Mom saved you a seat." I looked at Patricia, who was suddenly very interested in her menu. "Well, I figured Jake was handling that," she said without looking up. The entire table went quiet, like dead silent. 20 pairs of eyes were now staring at me, standing there like an idiot. Some cousin I'd never met was already sitting in what I thought would be my chair, happily munching on bread. "Can't we just ask them to bring another chair?" I suggested. Patricia finally looked up. "Oh, sweetie, the table's already pretty crowded. Plus, they probably don't have any more chairs that would fit." I looked around. The restaurant was packed. And yeah, squeezing another chair in would have been tight. But like this was his wife they were talking about. Not some random person who showed up uninvited. Jake was doing that thing where he gets uncomfortable and just freezes. No problem solving. No standing up for me. Just sitting there looking like a deer in headlights. "You know what? It's fine," I said. "I'll just sit at the bar or something." "Actually," Patricia said, "there's a small table over there that just opened up. Looks like it's for 2 people, but you could sit there alone." She pointed to this tiny table in the corner, like where they'd seat someone waiting for takeout. It was literally as far from their table as possible while still being in the same restaurant. The whole family was still staring. I could hear someone whisper awkward under their breath. So, I did something that surprised even me. I walked over to that little corner table, sat down, and ordered myself the most expensive steak on the menu. Then I ordered an appetizer, a fancy cocktail, and dessert. When the waiter asked if I was waiting for someone, I said, "Nope, just me tonight." I spent the next hour and a half having the most peaceful dinner I'd had in months. I could see their big table from where I was sitting, and it looked chaotic. Kids crying, people talking over each other, Patricia commanding everyone's attention with some long story. Meanwhile, I was sitting there eating amazing food, scrolling through my phone, actually relaxing for once. The waiter kept checking on me and was super nice. I even ordered a second cocktail because why not? About halfway through my meal, Jake came over looking stressed. "Babe, I'm really sorry about this. Mom said she thought we talked about you sitting separately. When would we have talked about that?"